Hi.
We good.
How
I'm
are you
good.
doing?
We're
You feel
good.
good? I mean, we look good.
Rosie.
I'm great.
Oh, I look good.
Can hear your mic.
They
though.
can hear me. I'm loud.
You're loud. I can't hear you.
How can't you hear me? I'm right
I
next
don't
to
know.
you.
I can hear you loud and
I
clear.
can hear
It's the
you.
shirt. He's feeling a little extra.
You're too much. You're doing too much.
She took it there.
I know.
It's a good shirt. I'm teasing you. I actually like it.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Well, I'm just going to get straight to it. We are in different times. We grew up differently than some of these generations now. What do you feel, is the most positive way to discipline your children? When it comes to disciplining, it can be a wide range of things. Like whooping that ass. Spanking. Whatever you want to call it.
It's a great one, huh?
Yeah, that's a great
How
one.
do you feel
I know
it's
that
effective?
I'm gonna start because I know it can get wild for some other people, but I'm gonna say what worked for me, or what
FYI,
my
she is a
parents
mom.
things worked for me. Because what worked for my siblings was different, and so that influenced what worked for me. So I didn't get whooped or spanked a lot. I can count on my hand. But my brother wouldn't say the same thing. So I'm the last kid and they're older. So I saw them get disciplined a little more harder and harsher than I was. So I didn't want that. But I'm naturally calmer and more obedient, I guess. So my dad just had to say a
You
word.
saw what was going on.
Well, yes,
She learned.
so
She learned by observation.
Okay.
observation to be good. So I didn't
She
get
learned
any
by
words.
observation.
Yeah.
Have you seen this video, where you get like a dog and you put the dog down there and you put something down, and when that thing drops,
like a-
then you beat the dog.
Yeah.
Then you give it to the dog. The dog will behave itself, like because it doesn't want to get whooped. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, that's what happened. So and I
like, "No,
turned
thank
out
you."
fine, but I didn't have to get whooped. But I knew it
So
could
the
get
whooping
there.
still worked because you saw.
Because it mentally got to
I guess so. Yeah. So
you. Mentally, she said, no, thank you. No, thank you.
So
Yeah.
I don't know how you measure it, right? Like, is there any quantitative, research that was done to say? Probably not, right? But just from experience, I got whooped a lot growing up, especially by one person, my grandma.
It's grandma's. Grandma's
Gosh,
wife.
Grandma hands. Grandma's hands.
They believe that's the secret.
Right? And the thing about that, the interesting thing is I grew up with my grandparents, right? And
Okay.
my grandma, like her default setting is just to just kick you upside the head.
With whatever they have
Whatever the thing
available.
is.
Whatever.
On the other hand, my grandfather was more measured. Like it has to be specific things before he will, bring out the belt
And that takes
or
a different
whatever.
effect as well.
And to me, what it was very different. Like, I would rather my grandfather whoop me, so to speak, than not speak to me. And I felt like that was a more effective way
'Cause it was an
because
emotional
it was
thing.
emotional for me. It was like, I don't, for him not to talk to me, because he doesn't whoop me every time. For him not to talk to me carried a greater weight emotionally and mentally than my grandma. After a while, my grandma was just like, she's just gonna whoop
You
me
about to hit
anyway.
me.
Like,
She's gonna whoop
I'm
me
just still
anyway.
gonna go. I'm still gonna run out and come back late
I'm
or
gonna get
whatever.
whooped.
Well, I'm gonna
That's
get
my
whooped
thing.
anyway. I'm gonna play this soccer that I'm playing out here that she doesn't want me to play. She's gonna whoop me. I'll take it. I'll go back at it tomorrow.
Yeah.
It is what it is. So it feels like, to me, when I think about that, I have 2 kids now. I have a boy and a girl.
That's what's up.
I would rather be my grandfather than I'd be my grandma.
Do you feel like you do it differently though, because you have a boy and a girl?
Oh, that's a good
No,
one.
that's some, yeah.
I wish my wife was
She
here.
doesn't know how to ask this kind of questions, Cassandra.
I'm always digging.
Always like, I don't know, man.
If you ask my wife, she would say yes. Especially early on. I think, before my daughter came, my son is the first one. I was a little bit on the hard side. And then my daughter came, and that kind of like
Hearts got
softened
soft.
me up. Like I don't know what it was, and so I had to like.
And she's like, I got you wrapped around my
Right,
finger.
that's what my wife says, and you know she's the balance, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's like, you just baby her, and blah blah blah. But I feel like
It's hard not.
I also think back at what didn't work now as I've
Okay.
grown older, and I don't want them to get to that point where they shut me out. I want them to be able to listen to me, which is
Amazing.
why I think I kind of like.
You've done it differently. And that's a great positive. I think that's huge because stuff that we go through, we can either bring it or we can change the way. And I feel like how we've gotten disciplined growing up in our generation, it was how they were disciplined. And it brings trauma. And
Yeah.
long-term trauma that they don't know about these things. They weren't taught how to process those things. We're now in a time where we have people we can talk to. And it's a positive to talk about these things and reflect and think about it.
Yeah.
So now we have the choice to change things.
Yeah. They applied what they knew.
Yes.
So if they knew better, they would have done better.
Think
For
that's
me, I was really whooped. Like
You look, you must be a stubborn child.
really.
You must be a
I
stubborn
was the
child.
last child, yeah.
Out
I
of
was
how
not.
many?
I was not actually.
Five.
Like I was the last. I'm the last child. Sorry. My brother actually was the one that made me understand to behave better. But
Like me.
yes, but
Last
even
kids.
behaving better didn't stop me from being whooped. So there's something my brother did one day. So they got him textbooks, for school. My dad got him new textbooks. So my dad was a pastor. So we had this calendar of the pastors, January, February. I used to have it like a new calendar. So my brother, out of excitement, wanted to wrap his books. You know how we wrap our books?
Yes,
then
with
to
a
the
calendar.
With calendar.
You did that too? These people,
I
man.
think it says I'm this old. And
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
you got to write on it.
Exactly. So nobody was stealing
Okay.
and protect it. My brother went and took the calendar,
The new
and
one.
it was not the old one,
The
the
new
new
one.
one. He took the
That
calendar
will
with
kill
the
you.
pastors
That will kill you.
and wrapped his books so clean and nice. When my
Yeah.
dad
He was
came
ahead of
back,
time.
You're supposed to take the 1976 one, not
As
the
in-
new one.
my dad, I'm not kidding. My dad, that's not a bad person. Is a good person.
Alright.
But okay, that's true. My dad went to the level of breaking the took a wood like of the
arm of the
arch of the
chair.
chair and beat. So that when I saw that,
That's child abuse.
now yes, see, like I said,
Different times.
dating different time. This was like
Area.
when before now.
many
You
years
understand?
ago.
Many years
Seeing
ago.
that my dad never did that. Sometimes I think they get to a point where they realize that,
That
whoa,
this is not right.
I crossed it.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is not right.
My dad never did that again. My dad was an amazing father. You understand? But that got to him, and when I saw that, but there was an influence the thing had on my brother. I found out that growing up, he was kind of mean. So he even treated me, but he did some things to me that I was like,
that one time
my brother
where
is
he
not
just got
supposed
a
to
little
do.
worse.
Yeah, because they've been doing it over time. Then he did that and got that. So
Long-term trauma.
yeah, so he just became he felt like that's how life should be. So that was the effects of constant whooping.
It has a psychological effect
effects.
on you over time, right?
100%.
That's
I think we
crazy.
were kind of talking about,
Yeah.
I'm from Nigeria. A lot of us are from Nigeria here. And I remember, coming to school here, like way back when, and because of the kind of trauma that you feel, the effect of this, you're so timid when you got here.
Yes.
Like your teacher will ask you a question, you are
You're
not confident
afraid.
to
Yeah.
answer the question.
Yeah.
You get out of school, you go to work to the workforce, and you are in a meeting. You have all these bright ideas, and you
can't
still
share
are not
it.
confident
They've
enough.
beaten the
because
confidence out of
confidence
you.
is just gone. And somebody else will say the thing, and you're like, I could have said that. That was mine.
Yeah. But
didn't
you
say it.
could have
You
said
didn't have
it.
enough confidence to say it. You know,
That's tough.
It is crazy.
Man, it's crazy.
I remember growing up, like
Trauma. Trauma.
if your neighbor is beating his child, your parents, their hands will be scratching them. They just want to whoop you for no
It's like
reason.
there's something
They'll
happening
be
in
like,
the environment. It's the whooping season, man.
They'll be like, have you done? They'll be like, have you done the dishes? You'll be like, yes. They'll be like,
FYI.
they'll
Have
be
you
like,
done your homework?
and you're supposed to be reading your books now. They'll just because I don't know if it's how do they call this? If it's they just see their neighbor beating their kid, they want to beat you for no reason.
Yeah.
Domino
And like
effect.
you were saying, it has a lot of it's contagious for them.
Yes.
It's contagious. So it has a lot of negative effect, and they think they are doing you good. I understand
Because that's how they
you
were
need
brought
to, you
up.
need to score your child and all those kind of stuff. I understand it works, but the negative impact is more.
it's more.
Like you were saying, when I came to the States, I won't lie to you, bro. It took me time to integrate myself into the system. How you talk.
Because of the mindset.
If you take a typical 5-year-old child, African Nigerian child who've gone through this whooping and all this beating.
Yeah.
Because
Put it-
whooping for you guys there is
You guys, they don't whoop you guys. You guys are good
It's a
here.
whole-
You're good. See, our parents here sometimes somebody cracked the joke like they're about to go out. You have not done nothing. Everything is
Yes.
going fine. They'll just call you at the door. They'll call you, say, come. Like, come. You're like,
They'll
okay.
beat you in
Then they'll
advance.
just say, just
every-
make
every like-
sure you
don't
stay
stay
where
home.
I
Yeah.
leave you.
You be
So
like-
you are like, why are you beating me?
He
That-
said, I
because
know.
of what you will.
I know you will misbehave before I come back.
It's a preemptive thing.
The trauma is just the negative is just like self-confidence is not, it kills your self.
beat the whole
Do you know
thing
what
out.
it is like? There's this young girl in my neighborhood there. She did the little thing. She was growing and she started this puberty started coming and stuff started coming out.
becoming
And some
a
dude
lady.
started saying hi. Her mom beat her up, naked her like in the compound. That killed her self-confidence.
Yeah.
So and people still like I'm saying this
That's-
to all like some
that's-
parents,
And that's
some
still
in
happening.
Africa, some in
That's
other part of
that's
the
still
world.
happening though.
It's still happening.
Please.
Yeah, unfortunately, it really does. And I think again, we have to just keep talking about it, about this negative effects, because it's part of the reason why I think like even as a society, culturally, you don't get to ask people questions. And because you don't get to ask your leaders questions, they tend to get away with a lot of
A lot of things.
That is when people talk about corruption in
yeah.
where we come from. I said this is
Part of
start
it.
from
Part of it.
all this whooping unnecessary because you can't
You
even
don't know why.
ask your
You don't
elder
have the right
questions.
to question because anything we do is right.
It's right.
You
It's right. You
understand?
don't get to ask anything.
So
Like,
you guys would say the way you guys were disciplined.
It's not. Mine is not good. Mine. I will tell you the truth.
Nah.
Mine is
so
not
what-
good.
For
There
me,
were
I wouldn't say mine wasn't good.
Yeah.
Mine was
I
not
said,
good. I don't like it.
I think I was loved by my father, my mom. So when they beat me, I know
you understood.
that I've done something really bad. So and I want to correct. So we're just moving to the extremes of it. But because for me personally, I still feel like if you speak with your child, talk to the child, let them know. If you're going to whoop the child, let the child
Because I was
know
just about to say,
why.
what are you guys going to do now to change to make it a positive?
Exactly. And it's not-
What are you going to bring from that and make it into a positive?
Yeah, so that's my own lesson. I don't have to just get my child and start being so no. And when you do something so often, the child gets used to it.
They're numb.
And they're numb. So
They're
they're
like,
like,
doesn't
he's
have
just gonna
any
whoop my
effect.
ass. I'll do it
So what-
regardless.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's the indiscriminate, way of by which they do it, right? Like it's just like every little single thing. That's the default.
Yeah.
This is what you have to do without even many times knowing why.
Yes.
You've really done or what was wrong about you. Maybe you even know what you did, but what was wrong? What was so wrong about
Because
what
one
I
thing
did?
I know my mom said to me now as an adult, she's like, I hated that I had to hit you guys. I didn't like it. She's like, and I realized now, like, I could have just talked to you.
Yeah.
They
I
didn't
coulda
know
just-
better.
Yeah, I could have just
didn't
yelled
know
and
better.
talked to you
Yeah.
and punished
And-
you and would have done the
And
same
wouldn't have seen the
effect.
same
And
effect.
medically
But let's not get it wrong though. Oh, sorry, you want to say something, right?
Oh, no, I was just gonna say psychologically, there's different stages children go through, obviously, and there's an age where you stop whooping a child, even, and like teenagers, you're not supposed to hit them because that's
you just
useless.
send them the other way.
So there's other ways to discipline, punish, withhold stuff, time out
Take
for
away
little ones,
the
but all the
iPad.
while you're still supposed to be communicating,
right?
like telling them why, even from his age, like now we're saying no, and
Yeah, I'll whoop him a bit. You say no.
No, he's
he can
for me.
whoop him. I talk
Gotta
to
have a
him.
balance.
Yes,
Yeah.
so
For me, right?
What's your positive?
I'm not saying some kids, right? They sometimes they just turn you to
Just
they
mad.
just
They're
go
just
crazy.
mad.
I have a son, right?
You can lose it.
So you can lose it. You be like, you know what? I understand that.
You're like,
But
boy, if you don't sit your ass
if they do
down.
something wrong, like the
Still
first day I had my son, I cried. So when they do something wrong, I think we should think of those days, like when they were so tender, they don't know anything. Honestly, I would not lay my hands on my son, my kids, my daughter. I won't do that. The words, my dad, he does that too. He will my dad is scream at you, right? This whole lights will turn off. He will scream.
I'm running.
What? But he hardly touch you. It's just my other siblings,
that
most
tone
of
of
them.
voice, you were like,
that tone of voice, you'll be like,
Yeah.
And now they got
That can
games,
also-
right?
that can also be dangerous.
They got
Yeah.
like you were asking what are the ways we can. For me, like if you play video game or if you do something, I'll be like, you know what, you're not gonna play video game today.
yeah, that's it. Withholding
Or
stuff.
something else, but
yeah.
whooping is not. For me personally, I'm against it 140%. It kills the child's creativity.
Understandable.
You're just afraid of everything that comes. Even you see somebody else and you're afraid of them. The trouble is too much,
No,
man.
I get it.
For real. Like I want to do that, and there are other ways to do it to your kids. But look at your handsome child, man.
My cute.
Even some parents go to the extent of
Still not
even.
sleeping.
We know where we come from.
Yeah.
Beat you with cane, their lines. No.
A hanger.
Buddy.
So for
a
me,
chancla.
School, yeah.
I
You know,
won't do
I'm
that.
talking about parents, yeah.
Slipper.
In school,
And
it
those
got to a
things
point.
Zapat.
in African schools, some
African
schools in
schools,
Africa.
they have some particular like lecturers, like teachers that that if this one beats you, there's another thing in the Yoruba. Sorry, this is just like I just thought of it. The Yoruba in Nigeria, they said so. This was what I don't know where it came from, but it came up so people would stop beatings. They said that if you beat the male child with a broom, that his stuff will not be big.
That was a thing.
Look.
Because they were trying.
I've never heard that.
That's some crazy stuff.
Yeah, it's a major thing. You're Yoruba guy.
That
now.
is true.
Uh-huh.
That is true. Yeah, you like they said, like in school, the thing about it again is like the frequency at which it happened, right?
Yeah.
Like you're at home, you get whipped. You're at school, your teachers
Church,
have
you
the
whip
liberty.
everywhere.
Church, they whip
The community,
Your neighbors,
your
your
neighbors
neighbors.
have
See,
the
that is
liberty
so
to just.
They will
you
now
know,
say it takes the community
the community
to
raise
a child.
Like it was just too
I think
much.
she's
like,
traumatized just listening
Right,
to y'all.
you
It
know,
is.
like
I would never do that.
If I do something at school, right, back in the day,
I would never
and my
do that.
teacher like already whooped me, I can't go home and tell my parents or my
Yeah.
grandparents. You know
Just
why?
to whoop you
Because
again.
I'm gonna get whooped all over
Again.
again.
Yes.
Even though I.
So you see, there's something major here. So you see this situation of what's it called, a molestation and all that. Now this is the very bad side about whooping. So you see a child that have been abused. So because you whoop the child so much, a child might not be able to boldly come to you and tell you,
Yeah.
this person
did this to
touched
me.
me, uncle did this or did that. So because you beat them so much, they are
It's
worried.
annoying.
They're like, if I
Yeah,
say
if I
this
go
thing,
say it out.
what will now happen?
Yeah.
That's the thing, child.
So it
called
can
wolf.
lead to, you
It
said?
becomes that child called wolf. Have you guys heard that?
Child
Yeah.
called wolf.
Child
Yeah.
No.
So this child, it's an old tale, but this
Okay.
child kept saying wolf, wolf, wolf. But people, the community, the
they'll
village,
keep
and everybody would
come
come.
out.
Yeah.
And then when the wolf really
Any time that there
came,
was,
Yeah.
they
they
didn't
could,
show up.
and it was real.
There was-
Yeah,
it was
that's
real.
exactly what it is.
You know,
That is exactly what you just described right there. Because
Yeah.
you know, it's an intense topic.
Very, very.
And it's different for everybody, depending on how you grew up, your
Yes.
environment, you know,
Environment.
the generation, your parents, what they do. There's just so much that can happen.
Yeah.
But I mean, let's go around. Do you feel like you find it positive to the child, or do you want to change the ways that you
Positive that I wasn't whooped, absolutely. I enjoyed not getting whooped. But I, like he said, in extreme situations, if we really have to, I wouldn't be the one to do it. Let me just say that. He'll probably whoop the boy. But
Look at
extreme situations,
He's like,
I think if it's necessary at whatever age he is, then yes. But communicating, talking, you know, I think that works. And hopefully my kids are like me, that just don't want to hurt their parents.
So we're gonna say
And we don't
dad
have to do
agrees,
that.
and he's like, but if I gotta do it, I guess I might be the bad guy. He'd be like, gentle. He's like,
Please say
I
it
still
nicely.
have to say something.
Okay.
For me, yeah, like what she said is amazing. So I'm gonna make they call it the rod, is a special delicacy. So what I mean is, I'll make the child know that there's something called a cane, and it is it will be like a beautiful gift.
together.
So when I'm telling you, I'll speak to you, you're gonna be my guy. Because you have to be my guy and share that emotion.
Be
Like you
my
said, I will
friend.
be my friend.
Yeah.
So when I have
Mess
to
up.
enter into my daddy position,
Daddy
You
mode.
know.
daddy mode.
They're like,
So you miss me,
Yeah.
you miss your friend
Yeah.
because daddy will not beat me.
Yeah.
So you miss me to make you come back to me. So I have to give that balance, because if there's some children here, when they grow alone with the mom or alone with the dad, you find out that broken homes sometimes it affects a child a lot. So you need the balance of the mother and the father. They bring all the spice come together to make the
So
child.
if you raise that voice and say the cane's coming, they're like, oh,
Yeah. So sometimes I might not
I'm
now
gonna
have to
tell daddy.
use it.
Okay.
so, it
So
doesn't need to be
it just
done.
keeps that.
All right.
Yeah, I'll just say I'm gonna
Thank
tell
you.
daddy and they'll
Yeah,
say.
you want me to
Yeah.
go next?
Yes.
For me, I don't think great things are achieved by fear or with fear.
Okay, fear, that's true.
I don't want to do anything fearful to my kids.
Yeah.
They said, oh, spare the rod, spare the child. The people who wrote the Bible, they're not using the rod on their child. Let's be real.
You
The
think
people
so?
who wrote the
You
book,
think so?
they're not using the rod on them like the way we Africans,
Yeah, we are
most of
used
us,
to
or
it.
most of us, Mexican, or what we do. We beat our kids like they're criminal. I'm not going to do that to my wonderful kids. I'm not
do
going
know
to do
that.
that.
Especially
But like you
again, like
said,
I'm a criminal.
words. Talk to
I'm a
him.
criminal.
Talk to her, or tell them, you're not going to play your video game. I'm not going to take you to the park. I'm not going to take you to the zoo, to the movie, something like that. But whooping them, me, 140%, I'm not going to do it.
140.
I love you.
No, I get it. I mean, my mom, she would discipline us. We get hit sometimes, but it wasn't often, because I knew if mom spoke, I was like, oh, got it. Like, and it's even now, even as an adult, like that's my friend, but if she says something, it's still respect. I'm like, oh, mom said it, got it. Like, still understand that part.
Yeah.
Totally 100%.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, right? Like, there's a big difference between fear and respect.
Yes.
I think there's a fine line, but there's a difference.
Yeah.
And what we usually want to do is make our children respect us, but what we end up
Instilling
doing by
fear.
whipping them
Yes.
is instilling fear,
And then they
them to
can't
where
come to you
They
at
lose all
all.
their confidence. That's where we don't want to be.
Yes. And my mom made sure of that. I want you to
Yeah.
be able to still talk to me,
Yeah.
express yourself, but if mom says what it is, it is.
But when
what
you
it
keep
is.
whooping my ass, I'm not going to talk to you. I'm not going to talk to you. I'm not going to talk to you. I'll go talk to someone else, bro. Like, straight up. Keep whooping me like teeth.
So, we need to give this brother some help.
For real. It's not good.
Bro, you need a
Oh man! So,
Charles.
you know, I for folks that will say, "Hey, I'm still gonna, whoop my kid," we're not talking about you whooping them and you leave marks on them, right?
Yes.
You just want to let them know that there's just a little bit of thing or deterrent to maybe you want to go that way or this way, like you were saying, like just that little bit of thought at the back of their mind. You don't necessarily have to use it, but it's there.
It's just
Right? And it's not about leaving a mark on them or doing that. And if you are the one also that is not going to do that, that's fine. At the end of the day, what you want to have is a good communication.
Communication is
what
key.
works for some children. Will
Some
just listen.
kids are different,
that's
right?
what
You
works
also
for
have to learn about your
100%.
kids too.
Yeah.
About the things that might work because you
them.
have 2 kids.
Because I see it with all my friends and their kids, like they do it different ways.
Yeah.
And they do it because of past things. They don't want to do the same thing that their parents have done.
Right.
And I've seen that. Communication is key. And I think the
Yes.
biggest thing to anything in life is communication.
That's
Yes.
the bottom line.
And it's a huge subject. And I think something like this, like, take it to the viewers. Is it a yes or no for you when it comes to disciplining and spanking? Are you okay with it? Do you not? I feel like we're in different times where people are like, I'm gonna beat that ass. Like, but beating that ass, what does that mean for you? Like, it's different for everybody, and we go through different things.
Yeah.
But hey, we turned out very well.
Oh yeah. Look at
Thanks,
us.
man. Thanks, man. I'm
Changing
good.
it.
You know,
What's up?
fam. Listen. Say something like she said. Comment, like, share.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think. Greatness is who you are. It's my family. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That is Foluke. That's Henrisoul. That is Sheyi. Bad pianist. You know what I'm saying? Businessman.
Facts.
Gospel singer.
Yeah,
this guy.
Afrobeat
You
gets
know.
music.
I've been manifesting. I want to be surrounded by great art, like just people who have talent.
Oh.
You are surrounded by
You're already surrounded.
You're surrounded
You're
by
God,
Your prayers are answered.
God is good.
all the time.
Where I come from, if you have only one talent, you are done. Nigeria, you got only one talent, you're done. You need like about 5.
I really have
Just
to.
start.
I'm like, I want to be surrounded by it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, let me tell
Yeah.
you, manifest and speak of it. It happens.
Yeah, thanks.
Yes.
We love you.
All right.
We
Take
appreciate
care.
you guys.
Bye. Love you.
Yeah.
Bye.